What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here to talk the monthly gem rate data, and it is doom and gloom time at the likes of PSA. They are no longer king. They are the worst grading company in the world. Everything is falling apart. They dropped under 1 million cards. Heaven forbid. They are at 999,000 now for the month of June. A 1% drop month over month. Kidding, obviously. I saw some comments floating around yesterday like the sky is falling, the king is no longer the king because they dropped under 1 million. There was one less day in the month. Keep that in mind. If they had a 31st day, it probably would have been back over 1 million again, and it's a 1% drop. Let's not get our panties in a twist, everybody. Year over year, they're still up 13%. Running down the rest of the companies, SGC up 10% month over month, minus 4% year over year. Beckett up 14% month over month, up 4% year over year. And then CGC in the asterisk category, down 9% month over month, down year over year. But we're not seeing the CSG numbers there as they kind of go through their switch up. I don't know if there's anything super crazy that I want to deep dive into these numbers. I kind of want to take this opportunity as more just kind of run down a state of where we're at right now. It's kind of a weird time for grading as everyone's kind of caught, not everyone, but a lot of people are just kind of caught in the crossroads at the moment. So PSA's current grading special has ran out. The $15 for 1990s and newer ended over the weekend. That is toast. They have not announced a new special. I honestly don't expect them to announce one. We're going to get national pricing. That's the big thing we are going to see this month is pricing specials and kind of what everyone is doing around the national. But I don't expect to see a PSA special anytime soon for just a normal mail-in submission. I believe last I checked or heard just from the internet that the value specials, the $15 thing, they are a week or two behind on getting those orders checked in. So for the month of July, plus with the national coming up, they are sitting pretty. So I don't think we see anything aggressive out of PSA for this month. There's really no need to. Like I said, they kind of got a little mini backlog going on, and most of their team flies out to Chicago for the national, so it's going to be kind of a ghost town around the main offices with all the on-site grading and everything. So they probably don't want a bunch of stuff backlogged up. July is probably going to be a cleanup month for them. So if you're looking for cheap, affordable grading, you're probably not going to get it through PSA for the rest of this month. Not that $19 is terrible. It's in line, but I don't think we see a special out of them. I'd be surprised. SGC, they currently are probably the most stable out of everyone along with PSA. They are currently running there. What do they got going on? $15 for TCG, $15 for all things football, and then $9 for Top Series 2, I think, off the top of my head, are the current things that they are running. I continue to say it. I think that $15 football special is a testing bed for $15 grading across the board. I do think SGC is in major need of a price drop to $15 across the board. They're at 18, PSA's at 19. You get the advantage of the turnaround time with SGC if you're not using one of the specials. It's just, the math just doesn't check out on most stuff unless you need it back ultra fast. The second PSA and SGC start being priced around the same amount on them to get a card graded, that's just rough territory in my opinion. Beckett and CGC, we're kind of lumped them together. They are the two that are kind of caught in the middle right now. CGC less so because we kind of know now what's going on with them to a degree. Let's tackle Beckett first. Beckett, we are still in the dark on what they're actually doing. They announced that stuff around the Mint Collective, but obviously blew up in their face. They went back and did some focus grouping and some testing and who knows what else, some surveys. We haven't heard a peep out of them in a while, besides the promo for the One Ring thing. Pricing wise, I saw they ran a 4th of July special for ultra fast turnaround time. I see not great things in regards to turnaround time on stuff. People that dropped stuff off at the last Burbank show still haven't gotten things back. Orders running late. 20 days to get an order just checked in. I just don't know what's going on over there from that perspective because they're not grading a ton of cards. 74,000. It's a good number. It's up month over month, but it's not like they're churning through, a million cards a month like PSA is. And it seems like they're struggling to keep up with what they have going on right now. So I don't know what they got cooking in regards to the grading scale. They floated the one thing, it pissed off everybody. They floated the second thing, that pissed off everybody. I just don't know what they're doing at the moment. And I assume we're going to get something. I feel like they need to get out there and either say, here's what we're doing, or we're just not doing it. It's completely, we're not touching it anymore. It has to be affecting their submission volume. I have a couple cards I wouldn't mind potentially grading with Beckett, but I am in hold mode because I'm not going to send something off to them not knowing if the grading scale is going to change in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. So if it gets to the national and nothing's happened yet, I got a couple cards, at least one for sure, that I'll probably grade on site at the national with them. But there's just not a lot of use case for them at the moment, in my opinion, because we just don't know what's going to happen with them. So until they get that stuff cleaned up, it's a little murky. CGC, they had their big month with their merger. More to come on that. We're going to get new pricing and stuff. I believe like their official relaunch is going to be mid-July. Because right now, CSG is cheaper to grade with than CGC. I have to imagine we are going to get a blend of those two, or maybe they just drop straight to CSG prices, which would be nice. I think that's like $12 a card for bulk with pretty fast turnaround times. The other thing I would really like to see out of them in regards to, like, if you're going to clean things up and make things a little bit better, get rid of a lot of your guys' extra fees. Biggest problem with submitting with them is they really nickel and dime you on every little thing. Every little thing is a 50-cent charge here, a $1 charge here, $2 here, $5 handling this, 50 cents of that. Just clean that stuff up. Just give me one straight number. Here's what it is per card, done. So hopefully when they kind of rearrange pricing with their soft relaunch in mid-July, that gets cleaned up and things get a little bit better with that. I have some stuff I am probably going to end up reholdering with them. I'm still at a crossroads. I got about a week to figure it out with what I'm going to do with some Marvel stuff, specifically that X-Men set. Do I want to cross it over to the new slabs, or do I want to send a bunch of stuff in and spend like $1,000 in grading to get it knocked out before the change happens? It's my own fault for putting it off for this long. I said I was going to nickel and dime it and, slowly chip away at it, and I just never did. And now I'm kind of caught in the middle. So I'm going to need to make a call on that one. And I don't know that I see myself dropping that kind of money on grading fees at this point in time. So I may reholder that stuff at the National. I figure if I'm going to reholder it, it's going to cost me $5 either way. I might as well do it on site and save on the shipping to and from and just get the cards back immediately. I don't have a ton of cards, maybe like 20, 25 cards that I would think about reholdering. Some of my Marvel stuff I'm going to keep in that slab. But from a more global perspective, like a gem rate number perspective, I have to imagine we're going to see a little bit of a hit to CGC's overall numbers over the next month or two as things just kind of get sorted out. The pop report gets cleaned up. And this has to be affecting submission volume one way or the other. A little bit of uncertainty. People want to see the new slabs. You might actually see a little mini bump if people are chasing blue labels for certain things like I'm considering doing. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. Like I said, I would expect new pricing, promotions, the whole nine with them, and we'll get more information on that as we move closer and closer to the National. So, that's kind of the current rundown. PSA is back to standard pricing. SGC has their specials. Beckett, like I said, we don't really know what's going on with them. And CGC, we kind of know what's going on with them, but things are still a little bit in a state of flux and have to sort themselves out. So that's really kind of where we sit with the current state of things. From just a general perspective of insert generic Facebook post here, who should I grade my cards with? It's kind of the same rules apply. If you're looking to maximize value, PSA. If you're looking to get it back as fast as possible, SGC. If it's a super niche case card, Beckett. If it's PC, for me, it's CGC. CGC still has the best slabs, hands down. So anything that I want just slabbed up for PC purposes, for me, is going to go to them. That's the only one that could vary for you. Someone else might have a different answer for PC, but I think the other three are pretty clear cut. I do think the non-PSAs need to get a little bit more aggressive on pricing. I think, like I said, I think SGC is testing the waters on a $15 overall price point with that football special. We'll see what they do for the National. They did not grade on site last year. They did the RCRs, the $15 or whatever it was, $10, I forget the price point. But they did the raw card reviews, and they've only ever done that at the National, and I think they did pretty well on that. I saw a lot of those floating around the show floor. I think that was pretty smart. I would not be surprised if they run that back. I don't think they'll bring their full grading operation to the National. I think it's very smart of them to keep that lean and just do the RCR thing. They probably make way more profit margin on it, and they probably still get a decent amount of cards through the door, because there is a nice aspect of finding some raw stuff, getting it RCR'd through them very quickly and very cheaply, just to kind of add a certain level of protection for the buyer and seller on there. Hey, I got a quick down and dirty opinion from SGC. They said the card looks legit and it's a 9, especially, or a 5 or a 7 if it's vintage. I think there is a lot of appeal to that service, and I would not be surprised if they ran it back. Even if there's a little bit of a premium for it, I think people are fine. You're okay paying that premium for the use case that you're getting out of it while you're at the show in Chicago. So that's my guess on what they roll out. We'll see what the other companies do. But on-site grading is always a big deal at the National. I've never messed with it before. I'm going to dip my toe in this year, potentially. Like I said, I have 1 or 2 cards that are kind of destined for Beckett. And then I have some of that CGC stuff. I need to sit down and figure out what I want to reholder. And then it would be really, the biggest thing that I would like to see between now and the National is Beckett announce something so we know what their situation is walking into the National. I don't want to be walking in and they're getting ready to announce something on that Wednesday. It would be really nice if they got ahead of that and said, hey, here's what we're doing. It'll be up and running at the National. And then I could react to it. We all could react to it from there, depending on what we want to do. So it's kind of the current state of things in the grading world. I think prices will kind of remain as they are for the month, and we will slowly see some drops in prices once we get past the National. This is a busy time for all the grading companies. They have to uproot their operations. So I think July is going to be a quiet month in regards to pricing for mail-in services. It's going to be a busy month in regards to any new thing anyone wants to roll out. This is the time to do it. So we could see a lot of stuff around that. But that's all I got for you guys and girls. We'll catch you on the next one. Happy 4th of July. Peace.